Hey everyone, so I am going to talk to you about my Module 4 presentation on community. The community that I am involved in is Celtics Life. It is a blog that is currently online. I found it by Twitter actually, and that's how I am connected and involved with them. So this is just a screenshot of their Twitter page. You can see here that there are many followers and they are constantly tweeting any upcoming events or what to look for this organization. So the core groups that they focus on are Celtics fans and their followers, people that are interested in the NBA, basketball aficionados or lovers, as well as people in the Boston area or Boston sports fans. So pretty much what they talk about here are what the players are up to in the postseason, what they are doing to prepare for the 2013-14 season after this whole realignment of the Celtics, as well as any news stories that are going on within the organization and scouting reports as well as injury reports and so on. So there's a lot to talk about for the Celtics. So how this community got started, it began as a blog and later transformed into a strong social media presence. Right now on Facebook, there are just about 60,000 likes, and on Twitter, there are over 170,000 followers. So pretty much what this community shares and interacts with their following is sharing breaking news coverage, game day breakdowns during the game, like interviews and scores, as well as what players and coaches are doing during the timeouts or anything going on during the game that is noteworthy. The Celtics life also um, is heavily um, done in promotions as well as contests through their followers. They update people with stats, any job openings that the Celtics have or if they have for their blog site. They even have a strong presence with the Boston Strong, with what happened in Boston during the Boston Marathon. They're constantly posting and supporting, as well as opinions and thoughts of their followers. So, what is the value that is created? The value that is created is it makes the people feel as if they're part of the Celtics organization, and it gives people the background insight to what the Celtics are up to and what they are doing. It also provides a conversation between this community and this is how the relationships are formed between individuals that share this common interest within the Celtics. So for the Celtics, it's about 12% creators, just a small group of people, but mainly they provide the content that you see on their blog, Facebook, and Twitter pages. They're constantly sharing and updating these news stories and updating posts, especially during games, like I said, and throughout the postseason when players are overseas or rehabbing from injuries that they sustained during the season. So it's constant. They're always there. There's always something to read on the news feed or partake in. And also the creators, they're definitely very tech savvy. They definitely push the envelope when it comes to technology on the website. They want to stay a step ahead of the rest of the bloggers out there that are for the Celtics, that they really want to hone in on the Celtics brand and life that that people are drawn to and follow. For the demographics for the creators, it is primarily male. I would say between the ages of 18 and 30. Middle class people that are definitely very educated within the Celtics and sports in Boston. They definitely have a leg up on the competition, and they're primarily found in the Boston area. So the main identifiers would be the Celtics administrators that help run the site as well as news organizations. Um, the people that are the creators are definitely very enthusiastic, and you can definitely rely on their sources as being credible for what they post throughout the site for news and all the insight that they have. So, critics, I would say the critics make up 18% of this blog and Twitter feed. Pretty much just a background for the critics. They dislike Boston or Boston sports teams. They're not familiar with the Celtics organization and want to cause this controversy. Mainly, but not primarily, they're Miami Heat fans or Lakers fans. As if any of you know the Celtics, they definitely formed a big rivalry between these two organizations, and it definitely pushes the critics one side or the other. Demographics, it's both men and women between the ages of 18 to 40, and it's something that's nationwide. Um, it's not specifically honed in on Boston, but it is around the country and through organizations that dislike the Celtics or that are uneducated about the team or about what's going on with with their new realignment of their organization. So the identifiers would be they post irrelevant topics to stories that are already posted, um, as well as talking about the falsity of an article, and also doing aggressive posts. During the season, you see more of this, especially last year. I remember when Rondo got into a fight with Chris Humphries. There was a lot going on the site where Rondo was being criticized for not taking an upper hand and just all that. So there's a lot of critics that do arise on this site. So spectators, I would say I would be part of this group. They mainly take up 70% of this blog. With the spectators, it is for their background, they're mainly Celtics fans and they interact with the postings that the others do. They form their own opinions and create dialogue between each other. They also share insight for what's going on, and they're definitely very connected with the organization and want to see this site benefit. So demographics is both men and women between ages, I would say 18 to 60. It's definitely a broad range. And it's also in the Northeast region, not primarily in Boston, but and for anywhere that anyone's a Celtics fan. Mainly educated people. They know what's going on with the organization, and they're actively reading the posts and gaining that education, not only from Celtics life, but from other credible news sources around what they follow. And primarily it's middle class. So the key identifiers of these people is that they're mainly fans. Um, they enjoy posting photos and videos of them with players, or if they went to the game the prior night, they'll post photos and videos to the Celtics Life blog where people will comment or just share the appreciation of the sport with one another. And they also communicate with one another. There's a big following between the forums, online forums on there where they always talk to where a forum is always set up every game so that people can communicate with one another during the game, and just build that sense of community. So that's pretty much it for Celtics Life. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But other than that, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys later.